this is a cool way to find email stories that sell. Okay. A while ago, I bought this pack of email storytelling templates, and inside the templates was one story called The Fred Smith Guide to Selling, or the story of Fred Smith, right? And the story of Fred Smith basically was, so that the key to this strategy is take one idea that has nothing to do with your product or your service or so let's say if you sell a weight loss supplement, let's say you sell a, makeup brush, let's say you sell consulting for, green energy. It doesn't matter what you sell. But what we're doing is we're taking one idea and we're mixing it with another idea to create analogies and metaphors that relate back to your product or your service, okay? So how you would do this was, it's more about the idea than the copy, okay? The copy doesn't necessarily matter. It's really just about the idea that you're putting in their head. So the Fred Smith story was basically, Fred Smith was a guy who was at, I think, Harvard or Yale. It doesn't really matter. But basically, Fred Smith was at a business college class at Yale, and he had this idea for his business, class, business management, business economics class, of a business that was a parcel delivery service. But the catch was that it was just for people who had to have things there overnight, like the fastest delivery service that they could get you, right? And the professor was like, that's not going to work. It's going to be too expensive. Nobody's going to want it, right? All these excuses about why it wouldn't work. And Fred Smith went on to found FedEx, Federal Express, right? When it absolutely positively has to be there overnight, right? So that one idea that was rejected became, this became a huge business. And then you relate it back to your product or your offer or your service, right? So, and thinking how you do this reminds me of the trait of perseverance, which is going to be pretty important to you if you want to get good at whatever thing that you're selling, right? Or whatever thing that your product does. Or you could say reminds me of like not taking no for an answer, or reminds me of not letting one setback deter you from ultimate success. Because if Fred Smith had just taken his business, professor's advice, then he would have never started one of the most successful, companies, really in history, right? Like, I mean, maybe not by the numbers, but FedEx is a huge company. And so it's like not taking note. What's the lesson in there? The lessons are perseverance, right? So how can you relate that back to your product or service after you tell the story and then pitch your product or service, right? The lessons are, not getting up, the same thing, right? The lesson is not taking no for an answer, right? Not letting the first no stop you from getting to the first yes. And so hopefully this will help you to, and you could ask ChatGPT, like, what are some really inspiring stories of perseverance throughout history? Or ask Anthropic's Claude 2, right? If you Google Claude 2, you can come up with another ChatGPT-like interface that you can use that sometimes spits out better stuff than ChatGPT. It's called Claude 2, and it's by a company called Anthropic, okay? So those are all things you can use, and if you want more insights like this, then you should definitely join the free, definitely join the free, subscribe for free, and the paid members, I think it's like $8 a month, get templates and other things like that I drip out, and more examples. So I'll follow up with them with more examples about how to do this, which the free members don't get. Anyway, hope you're doing well. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.